everyone, it's Allie Marie. I am a co-author on Magdalene Codes. I am the creator and CEO of Sacred Woman Healing, and tonight I'll be reading my chapter. I do apologize, I was supposed to read it yesterday. I was not able to get to it yesterday due to some time constraints that I had. But after I go ahead and read my chapter, I'll also be pulling some oracle cards so we can get some journal questions from the Heal Yourself Oracle cards by Ina Segal. These are my favorite cards. This is what I started my own healing journey with. I think it was my first deck, if I'm not mistaken. And that's kind of how I taught myself how to heal. And since we are approaching Samhain and Shadow Season, we'll go ahead and pull from this deck tonight and get some journal questions. So right now I'm going to read my chapter, Finding the Way Home, in Magdalene Codes. The path that leads us home is usually thought of as a well-lit walkway with beautiful flowers on a cozy winding river through a forest covered in beautiful ivy. A home straight out of a Victorian-era romance novel where a handsome, swoon-worthy hero is there to carry us up the walkway and across the threshold. At least, that is what I always thought was the perfect home. Somewhere that I could rest easy, knowing that in the middle of the night, when all was peaceful and quiet, there he was, right downstairs in his study, enjoying a glass of whiskey, just before coming upstairs to bed to me. Oh, how I remember being devastated when this turned out not to be the case. The road home was not cute, quaint, or even picturesque at first. I had to crawl through the mud, avoiding low-hanging barbed wire. The skies had opened and suddenly it was raining. Cold, frigid rain washed over me, washing all over the cuts and bruises I received while fighting for my life in the mud, while being cut by the barbed wire. Then one day the clouds parted and the sun came out. Dazzling bright white light that poured into my soul, warming up every part of me from head to toe. It was a beacon of warm, motherly light calling to me, walking with me, showing me the way home. The female energy was so tender yet so fierce, loving yet demanding, soothing mixed with a little bit of scolding. The mothering felt good on my battered soul. The light shining was pure salvation, like a drink of water after walking through the long desert, a breath of fresh air filling my lungs. No longer was I the maiden in need of saving. No longer was I awaiting my dark knight riding up to catch me on his white horse. Now I was the mother, who herself lives in a beautiful cottage just on the side of the cozy brook, as it is babbling happily, singing the song of my soul. I am no longer lonely, being alone. I am no longer sad in my happiness. My soul, once trapped and yearning for more, is now fulfilled. I can look out the window of my soul and see what needs to be seen with love and appreciation. No longer can we look back, for now that is the past. That is what is behind us, and we can no longer go back to that place. Why would we want to? We are no longer that same person. The one who is walking the singular walk with no company except our own misery. There was a final and complete ending, as we have started a wondrous new beginning. We are no longer yearning for something that we can no longer have. We have moved forward into the future. Walking in the light of the moon. The sun is burning bright and the rainy days are as glorious as a wonderful moonlit walk beside the silent lake as the moon caresses her with its love. The timelines of loneliness, aching, and yearning are no longer a part of this new timeline of infinite love. We have taken that leap of faith and have surrendered, and now all is love, all is peace, and we are walking side by side with Mary Magdalene. They say the eyes are the window to our soul. So what do we see when we look into someone's eyes? We see a little twinkle of something magical. Mischief, maybe? Happiness that we can no longer contain, so it dances out of our eyes. Hope, love, peace, excitement. We are ourselves, our souls, our holy, immaculate temples, and we are made of stardust. That is what that little twinkle in our eye is. That is the magic that we hold so deep down inside of ourselves. We must find peace. We must find this place of inner magic. It is there, bubbling just beneath the surface. It is waiting to come out to the surface. It is waiting for us to wake up and realize that it has been part of us all along. To discover our souls so fully and so completely that we can never be what we left behind ever again. For this, we must turn inward, to walk in the light of beauty and grace with not just ourselves, but also with our fellow man. Here in this divine vessel that we keep, this wonderful Shekinah, where we hold the temple of the white rose, is where we will find answers. We will seek solace, silence, and listen to all that is. Here we will find the Godmother of life. She wants to walk with us on our soul's journey, on this wonderful path we are being guided on and learning from every day. We must listen to the trees and hear their sacred ancient knowledge, for they are wise and carry grandfather medicine from generations past. Return to the earth and listen to her heartbeat. It will carry us, soothe our souls, and transform our lives into something wonderful. Once we come into divine union with the being of our souls, we can learn to speak and hear the language of the other side. We will come into perfect communication with all that is. We are ready for purification and unity as it drifts all around us, just below the surface, and ready and waiting to permeate through to the deepest parts of who we are. Sacred feminine energy radiates among us. This energy is slow, sacred, and utterly feminine. It is sensual, it is sexual, and it is strong, playful, and exuberant. The energy stream is purposeful and languid in its intention. It seeks to call all women forth to love, to worship, and to be worshipped. Just as if we are sitting in sacred temples as divine priestesses, robed in virginal clothing, ready for service. We are here to carry this energy, like the sacred white beacon that is, to flow as the sacred waters wash over our divine nakedness in the lakes, rivers, and streams of undulated adoration. This is the sacred sisterhood of Mary Magdalene, as she appears to me. We are here to carry each other, to spread love, unity, and the sacred ways of women that have baffled men for eons. My soul yearns for days long ago when the wild women would wander barefoot over sleepy meadows, foraging for herbs yielded from the soft womb of Mother Gaia, as she blessed us with all we needed, so that we could take it home to where the fires burn hot to make medicines, teas, and salves. Times when ancient wisdom was passed down from mother to daughter and carried in the ancient feminine ways that have long since been forgotten. We are to sit in sacred ceremony with other women and share what knowledge we have, to pass this to our own daughters so they may pass it to theirs. In the energy of sacred womanhood, we are here to nurture each other, to show and share in the love of community, and to walk this path together. As we walk on this new path of enlightenment, love, and beingness, we must also shield against the negative energies and darkness that also walk beside us. Protect your thoughts from negative energy. We are now the priestesses that walk in the light of love, the birthing of something new. This is the new creation and the dawn that has risen in the east. The energy of the crystal magic that we have called upon for healing within ourselves is all around us. The earth is filled with these crystals. We have only to look and find them. These crystals have been here on earth since the beginning. So too must we go back to the beginning. Something more simple, something easier than the rat race we have been stuck in. No longer are we stuck in keeping up with the Joneses. We are here to look out for our sisters, to embrace them, and to step up when one has struck their knee on a boulder in their path. These are the bonds of sisterhood that we are being called to embrace. A newer, higher energy is fast approaching us. There is beauty, grace, love, and elegance in even the smallest fairy, as she flies as fast as her little wings can carry her to keep up with the bigger, stronger fairies that have forged the path before her. In this new shift, this new paradigm, no one was left out in the cold, and we are to return to the old dance of community. We are to meet the gatekeeper of this new shift and to meet her in the spa of all that is. There has been something happening with time. Everyone feels different and no longer the same. There has been talk that all timelines are happening at once. Somehow I can feel this shift, this sacred dance with what is. I can see myself in 1700 Scotland, walking wool and singing the old songs as the men sit by the fire, cooking the meat, drinking their wine, and telling tales as tall as the ancient redwoods. This was a simpler time, maybe not a peaceful time, with towns being raided and such. However, simple it was, and simple we need to be once more. We as humans are craving human touch. We are so connected technologically, yet we couldn't feel further apart. There is an initiation, an invitation to become whole again, to feel the connection between us as a people and to exchange energy once again. We are at a time when we are the full, giddy with anxious energy, standing on that precipice, waiting, wondering, listening intently for a sign for anything that tells us to move. For about the last year, I was held in this sacred liminal space. I held silent. I was listening, waiting, and feeling. I was using my intuition to maneuver my way through the darkness I was leaving behind, coming into my soul, my purpose, and loving myself all the more while I sat in this incubation period. There were shifts happening all around me, magic. I could feel it. I could see it. That magic was not for me at that time. I felt I was missing out. What were the possibilities, if any, that I held back from myself? Not yet, came the whisper. It isn't your time to make a big move. Watch, learn, and soak it all in. Seeking the doorway to freedom. Then suddenly, as I leveled up through the game I had been playing, I stepped through the doorway. The energetic doorway that propels us into the future that we want, but are not yet ready to achieve. I wanted it all. I sat in sacred ceremony. I was guided by my angels, by Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary, Ganesha, Jesus, and Kali. I was not alone. I felt their presence. I heard their song, and in my mind, I could see them all around me, helping me, taking my athame and cutting, slicing, and peeling off the old cords that no longer served. I saw them fall, black in color, and like dead plant matter that is lying dormant in the forest of possibility. Into the container they went. They were no longer mine to carry. The weight was lifted. The weight that was lifted off felt amazing. I felt lighter physically, and I was called to physically purge and detox my body on a whole new level. This detox came to me naturally and easily. The residual sludge is now being purged from my body and lifting me ever higher into new realms of energetic alliance. After I let my guides and guardians assist me in this most holy purge, I knew the time was right. It was time to take flight. No longer was I sitting in the background wondering what I could contribute besides what I already had. I wanted to get in the ring. I wanted to take off my gloves and get my hands dirty. I first had to wait for the right moment. I had to put away my Taurus energy, my bull in a china shop headlong rush into what? I don't know. Anything? Everything? This was what my journey had taught me. To sit in the beautiful light of what is and to be okay with the not knowing. I am okay with not knowing exactly what tomorrow holds. I am okay with not knowing what I have to do 5 minutes from now. Or not knowing what will be for dinner, or any other number of mundane things. I am held safe in the knowledge that I am. That sacred knowingness that is uniquely and divinely feminine, knowing that I have me on my best days, and if I don't have me on my worst days, then God has me on those days, along with my angels, my ancestors, and the guides and guardians. The goddess doesn't enter us from outside. She emerges from deep within. She is not held back by what happened in the past. She is conceived in consciousness, born in love, and nurtured by higher thinking. She is integrity and value, created and sustained by the hard work of personal growth and the discipline of a life lived actively in hope. This quote is by Marianne Williamson. I have my own special place where I go to feel all the emotions, to know that I am okay, that you are okay, and that we are okay. I am okay knowing that I do not need all of the answers right now. This is the safe space. This is the simple life that just is. Of course, there are those of us who are still asleep, unconscious and unaware of what is happening around them, and that is okay. Leave them there. That is where they are happy. That is where they are contented. I have learned from my own family that we cannot control what another person thinks, how they feel, or even what we want them to do. To even try is a gross waste of our time, our energy, and our effort. We can use that energy towards other adventures. We do not need to bring others up with us when it is their time, or even if it is, And even if it isn't, they will come up when they are called, and most definitely when they are ready. Becoming the goddess within. In the meantime, stand on the precipice of the ancient wishing well. Manifest into your reality all it is that you want. Let yourself have your soul growth. Grow in wisdom, in respect. Grow in the ancient ways of womanhood, and connect with your guides, your guardians, and the ancient ancestors who have spent their eternity waiting for a connection to you. This is the path that we are here to walk. We are here to tap into ancient ancestral magic, the ley lines that lie throughout the earth. They say that we, as light workers, have been placed upon the earth and have incarnated at this time in a strategic manner. Does it have something to do with the ley lines? Some think so. Some think we have incarnated here for a purpose. We all have a soul purpose, but what about that of a bigger purpose? We are here to transcend our ego, to learn to elevate our souls for that bigger purpose. As long as we are learning to tap into our sacred feminine and balance her with our sacred masculine, our intuition will guide us along this path. This is the ancient dance of our souls. We must balance the feminine and masculine within ourselves and with our partners. We all have both within us. Men are seen as weak if they show their softer side, so they put on a mask and pretend they do not have this part of them. Women are considered too weak and needy if they show this softer side of themselves. This is the work that needs to be done right now. It is a balancing act, and sometimes it is a struggle to learn the steps to this ancient rhythm. We must learn the give and the take, the masculine and the feminine. One gives to the other, while the other is open to receive, and vice versa. This is the dance we must perform even within ourselves. To really step forward and balance our yin and yang, we must first grow. We must mature to an even greater depth than before. We must turn our attention inward. This is the hard work, the work that not a lot want to do. It is hard and it is difficult, but it is worth it. This is how we reach that emotional maturity deep in our souls, and this is how we rise. There is a deep respect for the way in which we must learn to live. Reconnect. Reconnect with nature. Grow plants in your home. Grow plants outside of your home. Research herbs, ancient customs, and see what resonates with you. Reconnect with your soul. Reconnect to your partner's soul. Let go of old hurts, old memories, and old ways of thinking and living. Let your guides carve a new path for you. Let them know that you are ready, and listen for the cue to take that first leap forward. Change is inevitable, so be the change that you want to see. Reclaim your secret, sacred, sensual feminine self, and put one foot in front of the other. Your guides are here with a gift. They are here to nurture you and help you along this path to untold pleasure. First, we must remember to slow down. Time is different in other realms. The earth moves slower, she breathes, she grows. Just look at the forests. Look at the Amazon. She is alive with possibility because she is slow. She doesn't miss an opportunity that has been presented to her. When we are moving at such a fast pace, we miss the little things. The doors that are being held open for us, the path that has suddenly been cleared. We miss the love that has been offered to us time and again. We have been trained to move so fast, but we must stop. See from the perspective of a snail, slow, steady, and quiet. Detach yourself from old painful memories. Detach yourself from bad situations. See it through a different lens. Change it, mold it, and let it propel you forward. These are the gifts that we are being offered. The gift of taking an old situation, turning it around, and making use of what it was. Giving thanks for what it is no longer, and moving forward with peace and gratitude. This is what is meant by walking in beauty and grace. To live for beauty, physical beauty, sensual beauty, pleasure, daydreaming of all that you desire, manifesting it into your reality, and serving this world and those around you with unconditional love. That has got to be my most favorite chapter that I have written. I like that chapter. So we're going to go ahead and pull from the Heal Yourself Oracle and get some cards. That was nice. Discover your life purpose. So in the chapter, we were reading about having like a higher purpose, discovering your purpose. So this goes very well with the chapter. And again, here's the art. It is beautiful. I love this deck. It is so gorgeous. So take your journal out and start journaling about what makes you happy. Where in life do you find happiness? Are you happy helping other people? Are you happy teaching people? Are you happy? Where are you happy? There are so many things that can make you happy. Um, I live on half of the time um, my family's ranch in Colorado, up in the mountains, and I am extremely happy there. It brings peace to my soul. And then I live half the time in a little town about 3 hours away. And I live here with my kids, and I've kind of homesteaded my house. It's kind of like in a outside of a major city. So I've kind of homesteaded my house. I have chickens and dogs and cats and everything, and I grow my own plants, and I also help people for a living. So that is where I am most happy, is helping people and living a simple life, and learning about herbs and plants and things like that for medicinal purposes. I use elderberry syrup and make my own every year come flu time for my kids and myself, and I teach people how to make elderberry syrup to help with their illnesses, or I like to pass on tidbits of knowledge that I have gathered from around the internet, around other women. My grandmother has passed on a ton of knowledge. Her mother was like a wise woman. Um, so I really have learned a lot from her. The next card we pulled is Patience. And sorry, my fingers are dirty. But the next card is Patience, and she is absolutely beautiful as well. The whole deck is gorgeous. It's like I said, it's my favorite deck. It's a 23 card. So five. I've been seeing fives a lot lately. Where in life can you practice more patience? Sometimes I need more patience with my kids. There's a lot of them, so sometimes like they don't clean their room when they're supposed to. They don't clean up after their showers. So sometimes I can use more patience with my own kids. I am very much a perfectionist, so I like things perfect and neat, and if they're not, it kind of gives me anxiety. So that's where I can use some more patience, and that's what I could work on. That is part of like my shadow self. It's a shadow aspect. So since we are in Samhain and shadow season, we can always find things to work on throughout the year. But I really like Samhain, where we're in the fall, and um, we turn inwards to work on ourselves and for reflection. And today is Yom Kippur, so I might have said that wrong, but it's a time of reflection, and I think that is amazing. If I knew, I probably would have participated in it, but I didn't know. But happy Yom Kippur to all who celebrate. You're probably not on, because I do believe you guys turn off your electronics at this time for 24 hours and fast. But hope your fast is going well, and your reflection, and I hope your day is going well. Our next card is procrastination, and this is another thing I can work on because I procrastinate a lot. What do you procrastinate on in your life? I procrastinate on getting back to people. Half the time I think that I have, and then sometimes I'm so busy that I'm like, I'll get back to them, and then I don't. I forget. I have to like double check my phone just to make sure. But what do you procrastinate on, and how can you make it better to where you procrastinate less? Procrastinate on a lot of things. I procrastinate on making dinner because I don't enjoy cooking. It's boring. And we'll get one more card. Have faith. It's this way. Have faith. She's pretty too. So, is there an area in your life that you are doubting? Are you doubting where or what you're supposed to be doing in this life? Are you doubting um, your spirituality? Where in life do you need to have more faith? Are you struggling in your relationship? Do you need more faith in your spouse? Is that something you need to work on? There's just so many things that we can have faith on or work on having more faith, more trust. Trust is very hard to come by um, these days because a lot of people break it. You trust one thing and then you trust that someone else is going to do something and then they don't. So trust is easily broken. So where can you focus on having more trust with another person, with yourself? Do you trust yourself? Do you trust your children? Do you trust your spouse? Do you trust your boss? Do you trust um, God, spirit, source in any capacity? I know that when I first started my spiritual journey, I didn't trust anybody for anything. And it took a real long time to even learn how to trust myself and be safe with myself. Um, but when you just put your one foot in front of the other, things just kind of happen, and you learn that it is safe and okay to trust other people. So really take a look at that and see what it is that you need to have more faith on, what you need to work on in yourself, um, especially the season of Samhain. Samhain is just such a magical time. I love it. I hope you do too. But that's all for me. If you have any questions, comments, concerns for me, you can always put them in the comments. You can visit my website at www.sacredwomanhealing.com, and my email is alliemarie@sacredwomanhealing.com. Or you can friend me on Facebook under Allie Marie, and you can also join my Facebook group www.facebook.com/The Sacred Woman Healing. That's it for me. Sending you all love.